Well, we're back again to talk about conscious relationships. And today we're talking about growth in a conscious relationship. We talk about all the time how conscious relationships are relationships in which the people involved are intentional about using that relationship as a vehicle for healing, growth, and spiritual awakening. And so those are kind of our big three elements of a conscious relationship. And we've shared quite a bit about healing in our last chat, and how healing flows into growth. We really want to focus on growth today. And, when I think about growth, I think about positive changes to the way you're actually experiencing and living life. And it's kind of differentiated from healing, which is like fixing something that's broken or hurt.
Yeah.
Whereas growing is like something you can't really do without healing, right? If you're not willing to do healing, real, honest healing work, then growth's not possible. And part of that comes from the fact that our inner world, our beliefs
Mhm.
about who we are and the nature of experience in these human bodies actually determines what our life is like. So we want to experience new things, but we're not experiencing new thoughts or feelings or emotions. The healing has to come first before growth.
Sure.
Any thoughts on that?
No.
No. Okay. Well, let's take our relationship.
Yeah.
You know, so much has changed and
Mm.
so much is changing,
Yeah.
but it's come from the work that we've done internally, which has been healing work,
Yeah. Lots of healing work.
you know, and the external world, the things that affect the way that we experience, being human and being married
Mhm.
and having a slew of children
Yeah.
slash Brady Bunch.
Yes.
Um,
Good stuff.
that doesn't change until this changes.
Mhm.
And so, most of the self help stuff out there is about, working with the mind, and that's important. But
Mm.
the heart, the healing of the heart, the healing of the wounded parts of us is the fertilizer for growth.
Mm.
And they lead, one leads into the other. So I'm thinking about growth. I'm thinking about people that want to grow as a couple. They want to grow in enjoying their life more. They want to grow in doing work that they enjoy.
Yeah.
Um, and what are some other examples or areas of growth that you can think of?
I mean, I think for us, nervous system regulation
Mhm,
and figuring out what those wounded parts were underneath
mhm.
that
Yeah,
and doing the deeper work and learning how to regulate your nervous system by using a lot of different tools. And there's so many things out there and everybody's different. So,
mhm.
for us, like meditation, or I've done some tapping, or people like deep breathing,
Or yoga,
yeah, yoga. I love yoga.
it's a big one for me.
Um, but once you start doing the work, or like I'm looking at what you've done, like once you started doing the work and started to get some more healing done, and also in combination with some techniques for your nervous system regulation, you're more patient,
Mhm.
you're less reactive to others.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean by growth.
Yep.
Or that's what with you, what I've
Yeah.
seen with growth and with a lot of people. So you'll start to see, oh wow, I'm like more patient, I'm less reactive, I'm more joyful.
Totally.
And that's kind of a lot of the fruit that's from the work that you're doing.
Yep.
Well, I'm less anxious. I'm not worrying about stuff 24/7, or,
Mhm, mhm.
because you've done a lot of that healing work. You put in some practices to help with your nervous system or the way you manage stress. And
Yeah.
then you're like, oh my gosh, things are getting a lot easier now.
Yep.
I'm not snapping at my kid or, something like that. Um, so yeah, that's what growth, those are some examples of what growth could look like. I mean, everybody's different, but
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking as you were talking about, where I was in certain areas when we first got together,
mhm,
um, even in just, like, dealing with difficult people.
yeah.
And, how deeply hurt I would be when difficult people in my life were being difficult.
Mhm.
And even though some of those same people are still in my life
Mhm.
being difficult,
Yeah,
the way that it impacts me is drastically different.
different. And I think also so my trauma in difficult times, not that my previous marriage wasn't difficult because it was, or in my formative years growing up.
Yeah.
And not that you haven't had hard times growing up because you did and there laid the foundation of why you picked your last person
Mhm.
when you got married the first time. But you had a lot of difficult experiences leading up to when I met you
Yeah.
or a few years before I met you.
Yeah.
Whereas mine was more, my whole childhood was like insane.
Right.
So your nervous system was more, you needed a lot more work, I feel like, because you had just come out of something
Yeah.
very difficult. And mine, I had been working on it for like years,
Mhm.
before I met you. So we were definitely in different places. I had a lot more tools and worked on a lot more stuff in that regard.
Mhm.
So it was harder for you.
Initially,
No,
it was
initially.
much harder.
Yeah,
I think we should have a whole chat about the nervous system
we
in it
really should. We will.
because the in a conscious couple,
Yeah.
once you become aware of the way the nervous system works
Hmm.
and nervous system co-regulation works or co-dysregulation works, and you
Yeah.
start to recognize that dynamic
You've
and
helped me a lot with
be able to
co-regulation,
work with
which
it.
was also very scary
Yep.
coming from
Not
so much
safety.
abuse,
Yeah. But
but
we
it's been really good
translated
for me.
not safe into safe,
Yes,
but it's been a journey in and of itself,
100%.
to be able to co-regulate together,
So good.
it makes all the difference,
Yeah,
you know.
love it.
So I think that's a whole chat we'll have.
Yeah.
But going beyond the nervous system for a minute,
Hmm.
you know, um, yeah, the nervous system acts kind of as a baseline. If your nervous system is dysregulated, you're not going to be acting in a conscious way,
Yeah, if you are in
right?
survival mode,
Yeah.
which when I mean survival, it doesn't have to necessarily mean like you're trying to well, you're emotionally
It's
not.
emotional survival,
It's
right?
emotional, yeah, like
So you talk about the trauma responses of
yeah.
fight, flight, fawn, or freeze.
Hmm.
All four of those. Um, I
If you're in a fight or flight relationship or have, work thing or, it's going to be really hard to heal
yeah.
in an environment like that.
Well,
You really can't.
you're not just going to not heal,
You can't own
but
it to it.
because you're not healing, because you're obviously dysregulated and still in the woundedness,
Yeah.
you're not going to grow. So people are going to be,
Rewind.
why am I not growing? Why does my life look the same
Yeah.
at 70 that it looked at 30?
Yeah.
And the answer is you weren't able to heal, so that's why you're not growing.
Very true.
The healing comes first, and then you see the growth,
Hmm.
not just with the external circumstances, but you're literally just experiencing everything from a different vantage point. The same behavior from somebody else used to get my goat. Now it's just like, oh, look at that. That's interesting.
Hmm.
The duck is quacking again. Oh,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
taken the see, this is just proof that I'm a piece of garbage away.
Yeah,
And that really begins to reshape this human experience.
definitely.
We believe that everything that we are going through at any point in time is exactly what we need to be going through in order to grow.
Yeah.
So whatever you guys are going through right now
Mhm.
in your relationship, in your life, it's there to teach you. It's there to help you grow.
Yeah.
And so if you can embrace that and go, have I been to this class before? Maybe I've taken this class before and I didn't pass. Maybe I really need to figure out what this lesson is that I'm not learning.
So true.
And you can actually start to like piece those experiences together and see what you're not getting. And usually it's some form of broken belief
Hmm.
that's being provoked by the difficulty, by the circumstance. And when you start to heal, then you can let go of those broken beliefs, and that's when you'll experience the growth.
Yeah.
I can think of a few examples in my life. Can you think of an example of yours, that really has changed from I'm healing this to seeing growth since we've been together?
I'm sure there's been tons.
Yeah. She
Mine
loves it when I put her on the
I
spot, by
hate
the
it
way.
when you do that. Stop it. It gets me nervous. All right, you go first.
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking about feeling like I have a voice,
Mm,
you know? It's been very difficult for me in our relationship because when I have started to share my voice in certain areas, I experience fear.
yeah.
And sometimes when I'm experiencing fear and trying to share my voice about something, it comes out all messed up. It
Mhm.
comes out angry, agitated. You guys can see I'm pretty intense. But when I've been afraid to share my perspective on something, but if I don't, it'll be a self betrayal. That's when that comes out.
Mhm.
So what we've been able to do is she'll say something like, the way you said that was kind of rough or kind of intense. And I'll say to
Kinda hard.
myself, like, why? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And I've been able to do some healing work around loving the parts of me that did not have a voice in my first marriage or as a child
Yeah.
or in work contexts. By
Yeah.
the way, workplace trauma is a real thing, people.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah. We've had a lot of that.
I've had a lot of experiences with that. But feeling like it's not going to be safe if I share my actual feelings.
Yeah.
And the only way we were able to identify that was by the way I was coming across being, well, not always easy. And her being able to, in a safe way, look at me and go, hey, do you realize the way you said that wasn't very loving? And for me to go, well, why is that? Why am I communicating in a way that isn't loving? That's not how I want to be. Not feeling like she's attacking me, not feeling like, I need to be defensive.
Mhm.
But, she can look at me and say, that wasn't okay. And I'm like, well, yeah, that wasn't okay. And want to do the inner healing work. And we're getting to a point more now because of multiple rounds of this
Yeah.
where I'm more comfortable sharing my voice about difficult topics and just saying,
Mhm.
hey, I'm feeling this, or hey, I need this, or hey, I didn't like that, or,
Gotten a lot better.
whatever the case may be. But this is an example where the growth, the improvement in my freedom and my
Right.
ability to actually share and speak about, my truth in certain areas.
Yeah.
In some areas, I've never had trouble sharing my opinions, but in some areas I have.
Yeah.
And I can see the growth through that healing work
Mhm.
that has 100% occurred
Right.
in this relationship because we're both conscious and we're both working on it.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yuppity yup. Yeah, mine I think is trust and safety,
Mm,
you know. It took me a long time
yeah.
not to run away and literally probably run or like just
Go for a very long drive or,
yeah, I mean sometimes to cool down. I might still do that. But I mean for the most part, like it's taking me I've always had to work on things on my own
yeah.
emotionally. I think I said that on some other maybe the first podcast. But I didn't even know I was doing that until I met you. I didn't even know that I I guess I was like hyper independent in a lot of ways, which
Yeah.
I know is like a pretty common like I don't know if it's trauma response or behavioral
Yeah. It's a survival
characteristic.
adaptation.
Survival adaptation. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I couldn't think of
Yeah.
the word. Um,
Emotional survival.
but yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm doing great. I'm awesome. I'm so together. I got this.
Meanwhile, she's over there like this, an island, a big fortress around her,
I'm fine. I'm
not
totally
sharing
fine.
feelings,
I'm fine. I'm
energetically
fine.
shut off,
Yeah.
one word answers, or maybe, just super busy for an hour while I'd like, hey, this is time we plan to
Cleaning.
spend
Lots of
together.
cleaning.
Lots of cleaning.
I love that.
You're quite good at it too.
Yeah.
But there were escape measures
Yeah.
that were really not about cleaning or whatever. And it
Mhm.
was really about isolation and creating safety in a way that created division and
Yeah.
separation. And ultimately, because I can sense that, me saying, "Hey, do you realize you're super isolated from me right now?" And she'd be like, "What are you talking about? I'm never even," and I think it really shifted when,
But this is what's, let me just hold on.
yeah,
This is what's cool about being in a conscious relationship is that you started noticing things about me sometimes before I even noticed it.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
it's the same way though, right? Where you'll
Like,
say,
you're
"Why are
kind of
you?"
being harsh.
You'll
Like,
say, "Why are you being harsh?" And I'll say, "You're like completely shut off from me."
yeah.
And in both
And
cases,
I'm like, what?
the person who's
I had no idea.
either being harsh or is shut down or isolated isn't really aware of it until the other partner says, "Hey, do you realize?"
Yeah. I mean, these things are automatic. You've been doing these things for a long time.
Mhm.
You know, I've been taking care of myself emotionally and protecting myself in that way probably mostly since I was a child. So
Yeah.
I just didn't even know. It was just like, what? Yeah, the
Yeah.
separateness, the emotional separateness because of lack of emotional safety. So when you provided that emotional safety and you noticed that about me, I really had to, it wasn't like, oh, I can be safe now. No, it wasn't like that. It took time for, uh, for me to really realize like, I'm okay. I can process things with you. I don't need to isolate. I don't need to run away. I can, you know,
But
we can do this together.
the counter trigger dynamic there was when you would isolate, I would feel rejected.
Oh yeah, there.
And so initially, when I was first feeling
It
it,
was really bad.
my rejection trigger communication wasn't great. So it didn't make it very easy for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, "Why are you isolating from me?" I'm having a fear response. And you're like, "Well, you're making me even more uncomfortable. Get away from me." And so, what we eventually figured out through enough open conversation is that all I need to be able to do is say, "Hey, do you realize that you're isolating from me or that you're cleaning the kitchen for the third time in 20 minutes or whatever the case might be?" And
Vacuuming.
vacuuming, definitely the vacuuming.
I've really eased up on it.
It's true. Like your vacuum used to be your best friend.
It used to be
And now it's me.
my pacifier, my self-soothe object or something. Oh my god. I
Vacuum.
barely vacuum now.
Vacuum.
That floor is so dirty.
It's not dirty. Um,
Anyway, I miss the vacuum.
oh my God.
I do kind of miss
It probably misses you too.
yeah.
But in reality, the growth in your case there,
Yeah.
it came from all of these cycles of,
Repetition of he's safe, he's safe, he's safe.
and
I
me
can talk to him.
saying,
I can talk to him.
"Do you realize you're shut down? Do you realize
Yeah,
you're in
that's
a
true.
different mode right now and I'm not in
Yeah.
it with you?
Yeah.
I'd like to be." And you're like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?"
What do you mean I'm not shut down?
Walk away from the vacuum.
I'm
Walk away from the vacuum.
fine.
But you chose consciously
I did.
over and
trust.
over and over again
Yep.
to try to trust when
Mhm.
you didn't even realize you were uncomfortable at first.
Ugh.
Then you started to realize you were
Painful.
uncomfortable and in some kind of response. And then
How about that I didn't like to cuddle?
that's a big one.
And now I cuddle. How about that?
You do.
I'm cuddly.
You are cuddly with me. I love it.
I didn't used to be.
But I think that's a great example,
That's a good one.
and you're nourished by the cuddling
I
now,
love it so much.
right?
I don't want to fall asleep on you now.
It's true.
It's like really, really comforting and soothing.
Yeah.
I love
But
it.
at first the thought when we first got together that what?
I didn't even know I didn't like cuddling.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. Again, you just don't know these things. You think you know yourself, but you don't.
You get into a scenario where you're just like, what else do I not know?
Like it's insane.
you know,
But this is what we're talking about is the
it
growth.
Is. It is.
We're talking about the growth.
Yep.
I cuddle now. I don't use the vacuum as much. I talk to you.
You do.
When I'm upset.
You do.
Not,
It's good.
I'm being dramatic here, but seriously,
Yeah. Yeah.
so funny.
But I think is growth something that you ever saw prior to our relationship as a relationship thing?
No. Remember, I was doing all this growth and healing on my own. I was quite good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling, go in my room and cry.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down, journal.
Mm-hmm.
I was amazing.
Yeah.
Hence why I was trying to do it all independently when I met you.
Yeah.
And it was just wasn't really working. I mean, it was, but it was keeping us separated.
Well, and there's
we weren't
also
growing together.
there's also some levels of growth that can't happen outside of
Yeah,
a mirror.
like trust and safety.
Yeah,
I mean, that was not something I can do in my journal. I
no,
needed to do it in relationship to you.
totally.
So
Same with
there's no
voicelessness
way.
for me.
Yeah, I could not heal
Like,
that on my own.
I can talk to myself in the mirror all day,
Mhm.
but that's not going to heal my voicelessness wound,
No.
you know?
Yeah, it's through the relationship
Yeah,
that it gets healed.
yeah.
True.
And I think, once those things start to heal and you start to see the growth, you start to
Mhm.
experience the world differently.
Mhm.
You experience yourself differently,
Yeah.
And for us, with our goals of really being as close and together as we can possibly be practically,
Yeah.
which is not going to be the case for everybody who's in a conscious relationship to be as linked as we are. And we're
Yeah.
very, very linked
Mm.
daily, the amount of time we spend together. And that's how we want it.
Yeah.
We're designing a life around that,
That's
you know?
exactly.
Um, but that has given us plenty of material for working through stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and that's a gift.
Absolutely.
And plenty of opportunities to see the growth,
Oh yeah.
plenty of opportunities to see ways in which we've changed. Now, we talk about growth in the bigger picture sense, like creating a life you want, not just growth in individual traits
Mhm.
and so forth. I think that's a really interesting topic for couples. What is the life that you want and how do you create it?
Yeah.
Certainly getting to a place where you can create the life you want together as a couple would be growth,
Mhm.
a growth topic, you know? Um,
I don't know. You're making me laugh right now.
I
I'm
am.
sorry. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I feel like we're trying to do that right now,
Yeah.
you know, through our coaching business and the way that we're structuring our life, really trying to build a life that has flexibility built into it,
Mhm.
that is centered around our values,
Yeah.
you know? Um, One of the things that happens when you start to heal
Mhm.
is you don't want to stay in situations
Yeah.
that re-wound you, re-traumatize you.
Situations, relationships.
Work.
I mean, it's pretty much everything.
And one of the big fallacies of our
Yeah.
society is to separate out all these things as though you can accept really toxic work
Right.
and that's okay. Everybody has terrible work. Everybody has a boss they hate. Everybody hates going to work. Work is a 4-letter word, all those sorts of things. That's just one little silo. As long as you're getting enough money out of it to make it worth it. And then whatever's left over, you give to your relationship
Yeah.
and your family, rather than seeing the entire human experience as intertwined, which is what's real. I mean, we are actually whole people. We're not intended to be, I'm work, Rob. I'm going to work. I can be tortured and traumatized and treated like crap, and that's fine. And I'm just going to flip a switch when I come home
The people
and be
don't flip
healthy.
switches. They just sit there and drink for a long time or
Most people distract or self-medicate
yeah,
or
go to a
take out all
bar
their
or
shit on their spouse and kids.
yeah. I mean, it's just
You
not
know,
gonna work.
it's not real. This idea that we just put on these different outfits is
Mhm.
okay. This is work, Rob. Okay, now I'm home, Rob, and we're just we're fine as soon as we get home. This idea that we need to entertain ourselves so heavily comes from denying who we really are, and we're getting into spiritual awakening here.
This is getting serious.
It's getting intense. It's getting serious. But this is a critical aspect of growth in a conscious relationship.
Yeah.
We got to a point where neither of us wanted to do crappy work anymore.
Mm.
Neither of us wanted to
I
do
liked my work mostly.
the part with the people was great.
I
It
love
was
the
the back
people.
end. It was the rules
Yeah,
and the
all the rules.
the
Yeah. I
you know.
love the people though.
Yeah, I loved the people that I did work for too,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed helping them. But when it came down to it,
Yeah.
like
The rigidity,
the
the rules.
rigidity, the physical burden on me, for some of the work that I was doing, the fact that I was making a lot of money for other people doing work that I found meaning in because that's how I roll.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I don't have anything to show for it, whereas what we're building now is 100% aligned with our values.
Yeah.
And it helps us to create a holistic life
Yeah.
that we're passionate about and that, allows us to love our kids and spend time with them, to do family activities,
Yeah.
to engage in things with each other that bring us joy. And this is growth for us.
This is growth for us. Absolutely.
It's growth for us to dream that dream, to be putting action into place to make that dream come about. It's taken a lot of inner work and healing to get here. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, for you to get on this show with me and talk is,
It's been brutal.
it's hard for you.
It's better now.
It's much better now.
Yeah.
I knew you were there the whole time.
Yeah.
You're killing it.
I mean, I'm doing okay.
But the point is, like, you've had to do healing work
Right.
in order to grow, in order to have this be a part of what we're doing together as
100%.
growth.
Confidence in this way was not easy for me.
Yeah.
Confidence in other ways, unhealthy ways, but not in the authentic ways.
Yeah.
It's always been this has been hard for me. So this is a
Great example of growth.
and a great example of hard things can help you grow.
Yeah.
Doing things that are hard.
Totally.
Like this podcast for me. Scary. Yeah. But it's good. And
It's great. Everybody gets to see how wise and wonderful you are.
gosh. Thank you.
I'm a little bit in love, just
Oh,
a little bit.
jeez. Okay.
But really, though, like, you know, for us to design a life that we want
Yeah.
around helping people and having
Mhm.
flexibility,
I think they get it.
but we could not have always done this,
No, absolutely not.
you know? It really was not possible.
No. Our internal work has led us to this very moment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, I guess I'd probably say when it comes to growth, there's the individual growth within the couple. There's the growth of the closeness and the dynamic. And there's this growth of what we're creating out in the world together as a couple.
Yeah.
And I think those are 3 helpful ways to understand growth in a conscious relationship.
I like it.
Okay, we'll see you guys next time.
Okay, bye.